Hi, welcome. Good morning. Well, this morning, I was really excited and I knew it would happen where I just, I noticed that someone had uploaded Father's Day, when the Brownsville Revival hit, where it was just, I've always wondered what it was like. I heard testimonies of it. But just a couple months ago, someone had uploaded Father's Day when the fire of God hit, where the glory hit, where it was just so intense. Um, but I could feel the atmosphere. I was just soaking up that really, I can't even explain what I was feeling from the atmosphere in that meeting. I've never, personally, I've never experienced anything like it. And yeah, I was just soaking it up, taking ownership of it, and where was I going with this? Oh yeah, well anyhow, I love something that Bill Johnson, how he was saying that it's not the heart of God for revival to just last like 5 years and whatnot. That he brings up that passage where it says the increase of his government, there'll be no end, and his presence is his kingdom. His presence is his government. With him comes everything that's in heaven. He is heaven. But God, I really believe that since with this infinite God, that the increase is infinite. The increase is infinite, that there's always like an expectation, an excitement that it can always get more intense. It can always get more intense. Another verse that Bill Johnson mentions is, it says, the train of his robe fills the temple. That his train is his presence, and the terminology is fills, is just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. That there's this expectation, this excitement, that there's no end to this, that with this Brownsville, I've never felt an atmosphere that intense before. But that it's not meant to like dwindle down. And it's all about him and his presence. It's all about heaven that really changes lives. It's all about, we wouldn't even have a Bible if it wasn't for man interacting with the living God. Man experience. If you really think about it, it's a documentation of God speaking to people, a documentation of encountering man encountering the living God. It's written down. if it wasn't for the presence of God, we wouldn't even have the scriptures. We wouldn't even have the Bible. That I purposely put a lot of emphasis on God Himself. I purposely put a huge emphasis on Him. That He's the one that changes lives. He's the one that makes a difference. Let's cast our gaze on Him. Let's cast our gaze on Jesus. Jesus, Emmanuel, God. Emmanuel is God with us, the very presence of God. Let's cast our gaze on Him and just enjoying Him and an expectation of wave after wave of ever increasing, infinitely increasing glory. I've been soaking them up. And when I was on the recliner and I was watching that Brownsville, I felt as though I was going to start floating off from my recliner. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if I would have just appeared like in another place or appeared in heaven. And I felt so much glory and so much life presence that I was testing my eyes because, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised in that kind of an atmosphere where my eyes would have been like fully restored, because up close, when I got about 40, my close-up started to get blurred. But I'm believing as the glory increases, that my sight, there's so much life-giving power in the presence of God. The presence of God restores things. The presence of God brings so much life that I'm just stoked, and I just wanted to share it. And every time I get hit with like a whole nother level, I just want to make a video, and just because I know that I'm not just sharing, that I'm sharing not just words, but sharing atmosphere. So just drink it up, enjoy it, and just love it. Him. Boom. Thank you, Lord.